In the year 2147, humanity had reached the stars, colonizing distant worlds and forging alliances with alien races. However, not all encounters were peaceful. The galaxy was rife with conflict, and one day, an ancient and ruthless species known as the Zarkon invaded the Terran colonies on the planet Theros. The Zarkon were a race of merciless warriors, known for their brutal tactics and insatiable hunger for conquest. They descended upon Theros with a fleet that blotted out the sun, intent on subjugating its inhabitants. The Terran forces, though brave, were ill-prepared for the sheer ferocity of the Zarkon assault. Within hours, the planet was in chaos, cities crumbling, and civilians fleeing for their lives. As the situation deteriorated, a signal was sent across the cosmos, calling for help from allied worlds. But time was of the essence, and the Galactic Council's response was painfully slow. They debated, strategized, and sent out endless communications, while on the ground, the people of Theros faced annihilation. Amidst the turmoil, a ragtag crew of mercenaries known for their unconventional methods and questionable morals decided to act. They were dubbed the Killer Humans, not just for their combat prowess, but for their reputation of getting results at any cost. This group, led by the enigmatic Captain Reyna Steele, was a mix of outcasts, former soldiers, and anyone who thrived in chaos. Reyna had her own reasons for taking the risk. Years ago, the Zarkon had wiped out her homeworld, leaving her with a burning desire for revenge. With her crew of misfits, a genius engineer named Cade, a former Special Forces operative called Jax, and the sharp-tongued pilot Tessa, she prepared the battered ship, the Revenant, for the mission ahead. "All right, crew," Reyna said, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. "We're not just heading in to rescue a planet. We're going to send a message. The Zarkon may think they can bully us, but we'll show them what humanity is capable of." As the Revenant rocketed through the void toward Theros, the crew strategized their approach. They weren't equipped to take on the entire Zarkon fleet, but they didn't plan to fight them head-on. Instead, they intended to create chaos from within, sowing doubt and fear among the Zarkon ranks while rescuing as many civilians as possible. Upon arrival, the scene was bleak. Smoke curled into the sky as Zarkon troops marched through the streets, their alien forms towering over the terrified populace. Reyna signaled for Tessa to initiate their stealth approach, maneuvering the ship to remain undetected amidst the chaos. They landed in a derelict part of the city where the fight was most intense. As the crew disembarked, they donned advanced camouflage suits, blending into their surroundings. Cade activated the ship's holographic cloaking, rendering the Revenant invisible. "We'll split up," Reyna commanded. "Jax and I will create a distraction while Cade and Tessa scout for survivors. Remember, we're here to save lives, not start a war yet." With that, the team set off. Jax and Reyna moved toward a group of Zarkon soldiers, weapons at the ready. They exchanged glances, the unspoken understanding clear. They were about to turn the tide. As they approached the soldiers, Reyna activated a small EMP device. The Zarkon soldiers' weapons sputtered and died, leaving them momentarily confused. Jax took advantage, springing into action with agility that belied his size. He disarmed one Zarkon and incapacitated another with swift, precise moves. Meanwhile, Tessa and Cade scoured the nearby buildings, searching for civilians. They found a group of frightened residents hiding in a basement. Tessa's demeanor shifted from sarcasm to compassion as she addressed them. "Listen up! We're here to get you out. Follow us and don't make a sound." As the civilians nodded, Cade quickly devised an escape route through the crumbling alleyways. Their progress was tense, each moment fraught with the fear of discovery. Back with Reyna and Jax, the duo was creating havoc. They used a mix of guerrilla tactics, sabotaging Zarkon equipment and luring troops into traps. Reyna felt the adrenaline rush of battle. It was exhilarating and cathartic. Each Zarkon they took down was a step closer to avenging her lost home. The chaos escalated as more Zarkon were drawn to the disturbance. Just as Reyna and Jax were about to regroup with Tessa and Cade, they found themselves surrounded. "Looks like we've got company," Jax muttered, pulling out his sidearm. Reyna grinned. "Perfect. Let's give them a show." With precise coordination, they fought back, drawing on their training and instincts. Just as the tide seemed to turn against them, the unexpected happened. A group of Terran fighters, inspired by the mercenaries' audacity, swooped in from above, launching a surprise attack on the Zarkon forces. It turned out that the distress signal had finally reached nearby planets, and a ragtag alliance of fighters had rallied to Theros' aid. With their combined efforts, the Zarkon began to falter. Reyna felt a surge of hope as she witnessed the unity of humanity, the fighting spirit that transcended their differences. The mercenaries and the newly arrived fighters fought side by side, pushing back the invaders. As the last Zarkon ship fled Theros' atmosphere, the skies cleared. The survivors emerged from hiding, their eyes wide with disbelief. Reyna and her crew were met with gratitude, the Terrans embracing them as heroes. Though they had started as mercenaries with questionable motives, the killer humans had become symbols of hope. They had not only saved lives, but had reignited a spark of resistance that would burn brightly across the galaxy. As they boarded the Revenant, Reyna looked back at Theros, her heart full. They had come to rescue a world, but what they had found was the unbreakable spirit of humanity. The galaxy was vast, and though challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. And in that moment, she realized that even the killer humans could be the galaxy's greatest heroes.